What's up, YouTube? Before I get into the video, let me remind you, if you like my content, hit that like and subscribe button. And also, if you feel the need to support me, hit me up on my Patreon at patreon.com/uncommonramen, capital U, capital R. I do all of this in my free time, so any amount of support can help me bring more of this content to you more often. Okay, today we are going to be taking a look at a commander that has been getting a lot of attention, dubbed the fair, quote-unquote, slicer, Alexios Deimos of Kosmos. So this is 3 in a red for a 4/4. It has trample and attacks each combat if able, and cannot be sacrificed, and cannot attack its owner. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player gains control of Alexios, untaps it, and puts a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the deck. We're going to start with creatures. I didn't separate these into suites because this deck is pretty straightforward. We have Agitator Ant, Brass Squire, Death Kiss, Foundry Inspector, Iron Myrrh, Ketis Emberclaw Familiar, Komainu Battle Armor, Lizard Blades, Professional Facebreaker, Silent Arbiter, Simian Spirit Guide, and Slicer Hired Muscle. Oh, actually, missed one creature, Solemn Simulacrum. Okay, next up is Instants. We've got a Braid, Chaos Warp, Deflecting Swat, Lightning Bolt, Return the Favor, Seething Song, Unleash Fury, Wild Ricochet, and Will's Reversal. Next up is sorceries. Got Blasphemous Act, Disrupt Decorum, Faithless Looting, Jessica's Will, Overpowering Attack, and Vandal Blast. Okay, next up is the meat of the deck. This is going to be the artifacts. Starting with Arcane Signet, Beamtown Beatstick, Blackblade Reforged, Brotherhood Regalia, Champion's Helm, Diamond Pickaxe, Excalibur, Sword of Eden, Felwar Stone, Goldvein Pick, Hammer of Nazan, Infiltration Lens. This is a placeholder, would be a Jeweled Lotus. It is a placeholder for Darksteel Plate. Lost Jite, Mask of Memory, Mindstone, Mithril Coat, O Naginata, Pip-Boy 3000, Prying Blade, Rogue's Gloves, Silver Shroud Costume, Soul Ring, Strength Testing Hammer, Swiftfoot Boots, Sword of the Animist, Sword of Wealth and Power, Tenza, Godo's Maul, the Spear of Leonidas, and Umezawa's Jite. Okay, next up is enchantments. This is a placeholder. It is a Tali's favor. It is holding a place for Errantry. Power Balance. Shiny Impetus. Sticky Fingers. The Sound of Drums. Okay, we have a single Planeswalker in here, being Jessica Thrice Reborn. We'll look at non-basic lands. Starting with Ancient Tomb. Arena of Glory. Buried Ruin. City of Traders. Crystal Vein. Homeward Path. Maze of Ith. Rogue's Passage. Mycosynth Gardens. And War Room. Finally, we got basic lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So that is the Alexios Deimos of Kosmos deck. It's going to be very similar to a Slicer deck, but there's some key differences. Slicer, there is kind of no way to build that in a casual way. It either does what it does or it doesn't. And oftentimes, no matter how you build it, it's going to end up being pretty much CEDH. Most Slicer decks opt to run Jeweled Lotus. I am opting to remove the Jeweled Lotus for this deck. In both cases, Jeweled Lotus would allow for the commander to hit the table the very first turn if you get the Jeweled Lotus in a land for Alexios, but in the case of Slicer, you just end up with the Jeweled Lotus. You can do it. The deck we're running today is going to be running a lot of treasure generators, land-related things. So, for instance, Sword of the Animist and other such things that allow me to get lands. We still are running slower rituals like Seething Song and Jessica's Will, just because it allows us to get the Alexios on the table as soon as turn 2. We're also running a lot of things that goad creatures like Agitator Ant, and just trying to... We have a suite specifically for trying to redirect spells, so Will's Reversal, Wild Ricochet, Deflecting Swat, Return the Favor, all are in here to help protect Alexios from any kind of thing that would target him specifically. There's a lot of equipment in here that give him Hexproof or Ward or Shroud. There's several pieces of equipment in here that give him Unblockable. There are still pieces of equipment in here that give a creature Trample, and that's not because of Alexios. That's because if I'm still running Slicer, I still would like to give Slicer Trample, so having those in there seems really good. Also, if you connect with Leonidas and choose to use Phobos, those equipment work on Phobos as well. But yeah, that is Alexios Deimos of Kosmos. This is supposed to be more of a casual deck, less of a CEDH deck. Yeah, Alexios, Deimos of Kosmos. So if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Keep it positive. I'll remove negative comments. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.